I developed a sinking feeling as I thought it through. I had started a new job just days before the attack. We switched insurance providers. Jason and I aren't married. He is insured as my domestic partner. We had the new insurance for a week and then submitted tens of thousands of dollars worth of claims. It was possible that the missing start date was the result of an errant keystroke in a call center, but my instinct was that an algorithm had singled us out for a fraud investigation, and the insurance company had suspended our benefits until their inquiry was complete. My family had been red flagged. Since the dawn of the digital age, decision-making in finance, employment, politics, health, and human services has undergone revolutionary change. 40 years ago, nearly all of the major decisions that shape our lives, whether or not we are offered employment, a mortgage, insurance, credit, or a government service, were made by human beings. They often used actuarial processes that made them think more like computers than people, but human discretion still ruled the day. Today, we have ceded much of that decision-making power to sophisticated machines. Automated eligibility systems, ranking algorithms, and predictive risk models control which neighborhoods get policed, which families attain needed resources, who is shortlisted for employment, and who is investigated for fraud. Healthcare fraud is a real problem. According to the FBI, it costs employers, policyholders, and taxpayers nearly $30 billion a year, though the great majority of it is committed by providers, not consumers. I don't fault insurance companies for using the tools at their disposal to identify fraudulent claims, or even for trying to predict them. But the human impacts of red flagging, especially when it leads to the loss of crucial life-saving services, can be catastrophic. Being cut off from health insurance at a time when you feel most vulnerable, when someone you love is in debilitating pain, leaves you feeling cornered and desperate. As I battled the insurance company, I also cared for Jason, whose eyes were swollen shut and whose reconstructed jaw and eye sockets burned with pain. I crushed his pills, painkiller, antibiotic, anti-anxiety medications, and mixed them into his smoothies. I helped him to the bathroom. I found the clothes he was wearing the night of the attack and steeled myself to go through his blood-caked pockets. I comforted him when he awoke with flashbacks. With equal measures of gratitude and exhaustion, I managed the outpouring of support from our friends and family. I called the customer service number again and again. I asked to speak to supervisors, but call center workers told me that only my employer could speak to their bosses. When I finally reached out to the human resources staff at my job for help, they snapped into action. Within days, our insurance coverage had been reinstated. It was an enormous relief, and we were able to keep follow-up medical appointments and schedule therapy without fear of bankruptcy. But the claims that had gone through during the month we mysteriously lacked coverage were still denied. I had to tackle correcting them, laboriously, one by one. Many of the bills went into collections. Each dreadful pink envelope we received meant I had to start the process all over again. Call the doctor, the insurance company, the collections agency. Correcting the consequences of a single missing date took a year. I'll never know if my family's battle with the insurance company was the unlucky result of human error, but there is good reason to believe that we were targeted for investigation by an algorithm that detects healthcare fraud. We presented some of the most common indicators of medical malfeasance. Our claims were incurred shortly after the inception of a new policy. Many were filed for services rendered late at night. Jason's prescriptions include controlled substances, such as oxycodone that helped him manage his pain. We were in an untraditional relationship that could call his status as my dependent into question. The insurance company repeatedly told me that the problem was the result of a technical error, a few missing digits in a database. But that's the thing about being targeted by an algorithm. You get a sense of a pattern in the digital noise, an electronic eye turned toward you, but you can't put your finger on exactly what's amiss. There is no requirement that you be notified when you are red flagged. There is no sunshine law that compels companies to